for Leon, as per usual. I don't know if you can see, but right now Simon's next to me. So Simon's gonna help me stream. Oh, but we. Trial Part 2, the Old Bailey. The jurors' contentions. Oh great, now I got to this screen, it's all quiet. Oh. I think they're finally maybe gonna play.
All of the waves, they keep chasing after me. Even though we are out of reach, I can feel the water on my feet. The things that you said.
Okay, let me pause the music. The jurors' contentions. So if you remember, we're questioning all the jurors why they chose guilty.
Yeah. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the trap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say, absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Oh, you can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence in years, which makes no sense because 4 times 4 is 16 and not 20, but I'm not actually listening to the other people who are talking.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor, it beggars belief.
I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now.
day. Jesus. It's not gonna.
Nope.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they?
No, they can't do basic math. Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Like 4 times 4 is 16.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo.
Uh-oh.
According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says.
Well, yeah. But then...
They reach their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become.
Yep. Then what am I supposed to do? What's that? There's a name for that phenomenon when even when presented with evidence, you more strongly
Oh
cling to
dear,
your belief.
I'm just citing what I read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right. I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then?
Well, from what I can understand... I love that animation.
Yeah.
The key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Find contradictions in their statements and pit jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off.
Can we stop proceedings, counsel? I will ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal.
Yes, my lord.
I'll never land on a voice for him.
Nope. Oh my god. There's a Japanese voice standing in court with a sword.
Rebuttal.
Oh, it says pit?
Yeah.
Mystery breath.
Oh no, just keep going. Gets pit. All the way down to that one, yeah.
Objection!
That was a very cute objection. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other.
And then you're very not cute.
They do? Explain yourself, counsel.
Math. Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silver Blaze's name I haven't the first idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's great. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beepo, he took 20 pence in fares.
Remember, you're going to try to read her a little fast?
Yeah.
You don't have to, but...
Quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. that it is a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts, because you idiots can't do math. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. Literally, the figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact, or precisely 1 person's fare.
1 person's fare?
Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Good gracious!
I love how he's accusing me, pointing at like all of them. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword. The figures your coachman claims so certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus because social pressure, and I know how to blackmail now.
We don't need all the commentary.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna say it anyway. Alright then, how do I make it so that this miserable trial doesn't end, huh?
Hi, Indy. Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales.
Now, hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. What? Something.
I didn't do that.
Wait till I get my hands on you, Beepo!
I would say Beppo.
Beppo!
They're just now, he's just like innocent without any...
Yep, yeah.
Guilty, innocent, guilty, innocent. Like, come on.
Ugh, this is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same.
I mean, that's what we need, but...
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know if the guy's guilty or not yet.
Yeah. And I'm not 100%, but I'm fairly certain that the British courts were not like this in the general. Which I mentioned because the Japanese courts were like that. Not this, were like, you know, other Ace Attorney games. For the love of Mike, not you as well. A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it.
On the other hand, British people arguing with each other and trying to, like, one-up each other with, like, social humiliation is totally on point. So, you know, I think I can forgive it.
I can't find a good place for this. If we can manage to change two more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
2 more? Actually, there's something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
Then that's where you must strike next.
So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other, and so there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it.
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt.
No, I can't make a
It's fine, you're fine, it's fine.
Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination.
I'm changing my meaning to innocent. I should like hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself. People, this trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. That one. And, that guy. There. And then. You see the motion that they did stabbing with? Those two statements are completely contradictory.
What? Explain. Counsel, post haste.
Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. Kind of looks like Feeney's jumper from, like, his first case with Mia when he was arrested. What is all this claptrap? What does that word even mean? I ask you. Well, we've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you see that I am busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to sneeze, do ya? I can't really figure out his voice either, so. It was like the stuck fellow next to him without even getting up, just like the prim banker said.
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true.
Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now don't move! Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions.
What?
Bless my stitches, what a muddle.
Well, this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh,
But why? Why in the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
lies, you say? Oh, dearie. I can't abide people telling lies.
Yeah, I mean... But, scales. Oh, I don't believe it. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly... some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on all of us because yay racism. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? And, oh my god. Answer me this, Stark Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it?
Let me try. I mean, this works a lot better, but then it really blocks the screen for me.
Oh. Let's say that Shylock did stab the victim as he sat next to him on the omnibus. and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, Reality and the autopsy report. Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you. This is totally, yep. Ugh, they're ready to kill each other now. They don't care about, the truth for the sake of getting the right man in prison. They just care the truth because, they can't abide lies, and somebody calls them a liar, they have to stab people. It's continuing the trial out of spite, not out of actually trying to do everything right. That's very British. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? No. Because he was only stabbed once. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman, you clearly were not paying attention when we were talking about the thing. What is it, you dark things? Come on, out with it! What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job very badly. As a foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. Oh, now, finally, we want evidence.
This is driving me nuts.
Why does it sag? I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. It's like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime as proven by... that one right there.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Only once? Yeah, were you not paying attention when we did this? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Where'd the knife go? Alright, I concede defeat. Wait, that means... four jurors are now leaning to not guilty!
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won!
No, not yet. You have to... not yet. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir! No one deceives me! We had a consensus! I said shut your trap! I know a liar when I see one, and if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber. No.
Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense prosecution and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Van Jakes, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution if you please.
That is a fun prop, though. God.
Having favored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hollow chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Oh my lord.
Lord Van Jakes!
I think that might even be more dramatic than fucking Claire's hair. Oh, is it cold in here or is it just me?
As your acquainted Tom no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination.
Antiquated.
Antiquated.
So I honor the deathly silence and listen to the charade. It seems I overestimate the intelligence of the jury.
Yeah, because that's going to make them want to side with you.
Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle.
Oh gosh. Such a fucking vampire, man. It's so great.
Bring forth the witnesses once more.
Oh my god.
Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Yes, sir. I did, sir.
Of course I heard it.
Yes, sir.
You shot on the end, the coachman. I believe it's that, Poe? Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh, me dear. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before a court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
He looks so angry.
Various misgivings.
I only carried for four passengers that night, I swear it,
Well, I for one was told I have to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He felt a little on the fare, he did. And then I saw that broccoli inside as well. It's all too much.
I don't think that's gonna end up being a guy.
Yeah. I tell you, I saw McGilvray stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes.
Oh, it occurs to me that the jury, when they were talking about him getting stabbed, none of them witnessed it. The old lady thought it was just, that was just completely, random assumptions. They didn't actually witness it, so there's no reason why they would be, that's not even a lie. It's just them misunderstanding what people said.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never
Learned.
existed.
I'm gonna do the fancy pants.
The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little Cousinage. What am I doing? Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Bubble, explain yourself.
Terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The guild spares 4 pence across the board, you know that? Might understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare.
It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty.
You have been dishonest, coachman.
I'm sorry.
You're a disgrace, Beppo! A disgrace! Your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild.
I like that voice. There you go.
Thank you.
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence.
Yep, we can still do basic math.
I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out
That's
differently.
because we exist in reality. No, that figures.
Well, it will appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for a defense, your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games.
Absolutely.
His eyes. What?
I find it kind of amusing
Examination.
that Van Zieks
Van Zieks.
has like the most cause to be annoyed by this stupid little Japanese like college kid who's just pretending at being a lawyer, and yet he's the only one thus far who has specifically referenced said college kid being from Japan / the East with any kind of respect whatsoever.
I know what I was doing.
What?
I was starting to do like a William Shatner. Oh my god. That's why it was so weird.
Zeeks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why is that? Why is he the only... He's supposed to be super angry at this. Why is he the only non-racist one?
Various misgivings.
I mean,
Oh yeah. I read this.
Yeah.
So, what do you want me to do? Press?
just go over them a second ago. Let me read them
I
again.
only carry 4 passengers.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we press that one?
Well, yeah, but read them first, and then we'll go back and press it. Yep.
I had to pay 5 pence.
Had a lot of some repairs. Okay.
Atomic Guild stamina. Everything I said before
Okay.
stands. Oh yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so. Yes. Let's press that one.
Well, we can go back to the beginning and just press the beginning. Whatever you want to press. I just wanted to read them again.
Hold it!
So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right?
It's impossible to make the last one of the day pay. I was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself passing out.
They really need better wages. I'm getting... Chilblains? Chilblains? Fuck that. I'm getting chilblains just listening to you.
It was terrible. So I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny passenger?
You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. Skin sores or bumps that occur... Goosebumps. They're goosebumps. Why...
Because they didn't always use all the same words. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so technically it's not goosebumps, it's goosebumps as a medical problem, but still.
Korinosuke.
If only there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night. Then... then we would have had another suspect. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Just keep pressing.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Blah blah. And Zeeks.
Does that mean everyone on
Blah.
Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4?
Hey, Indy, is that vampire Dracula Glim emote still on here? Because I tried looking for it when you guys were streaming on Wednesday, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I don't know how you got it, like, to show up.
Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir.
You didn't press the last guy. Oh, sorry, this is the press. And I just told you that I did.
Good try, Indy.
Oh, flat for fair, 5 pence across the board.
It's not something to be proud of.
Oh, I see what you're. Okay. Between the dog
That's so
and.
cute.
It's adorable. Thank you, Indy. I
You know-
didn't see it. I'll have to look again.
You know what I learned the other day? Vampire bats don't have things here. They have them in front. They're two front teeth. Well, so I just think that would be cooler to have real vampires have the 2 front teeth.
The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort.
Yeah, because that's actually what makes the most sense for, they don't puncture, they, yeah, it's the insides versus the canines. They don't puncture, they just cut a, just like a small incision, basically, so they continue to, like, drink from it. Yeah, essentially. Because they don't actually want to, like, and they don't do the neck either, because, they don't want to actually, they don't want to actually, like, rupture blood vessels, because that's way too much blood, and then there's death, and that's not really good for them. All they really want is to, so they're, like, more likely to hit other areas where there's a lot of, like, small blood vessels near the surface, but nothing that would make you bleed out. Yeah,
Much like the Phantom Killer so desperately needed its gone, dead and buried.
I'm unhappy if it ever existed in the first place.
Hold it!
This blood-curdling sight, you mean the murder, I presume?
Yes, sir.
A loathsome sight. No one should often witness the horror of the eyes in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken.
Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed.
Good gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it.
I mean, that part is true.
Dun dun dun.
But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant.
I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see? That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw the horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating.
Oh, that's terrible.
I don't actually know where the canine people vampire thing came from. I don't know where that actually came from though. You need sport.
Oh,
They make sporks that have a serrated edge so that you can cut. It's all 3 major utensils in one. Also, chopsticks were invented because they were easy to dispose of. for street food. So, you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him. That's what I said, isn't it? Was that like me before this was? For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Well, yeah, but I mean, where did Bram Stoker come up with the idea of that's where you put the teeth?
Probably just looked good.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, but it was a book first, so...
Okay, that doesn't mean you can't think of it.
Well, no, that's not it. I just meant that it's considerably less visual than a movie would be. Oh, a play. Oh, okay. Then... Yeah, actually, maybe that might be a little... Okay. Yeah, maybe it was that. Anyway, there was only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there?
There has been much talk of a fifth passenger, but as yet, zero evidence.
Then what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty. I mean, I'm pretty sure I knew it was a play, period. I didn't know if the book or the play came out. But yeah, first. And whichever it was predated the silent Nosferatu, the silent film, which I'm pretty sure is the first full-length film vampire. Not 100% on that either, but that's what I think. Yeah, he did hesitate, so... Something about Mr. Triplet's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Yeah, so he saw it sitting next to him. I mean, the gloves have been bothering me the whole time, but I don't know if it means anything. Go look at the knife again, maybe? Yeah. Can you examine the gloves? Oh, cool. I don't know, click the blood stain. I don't remember what they said about that. It's definitely blood, isn't it? I'm pretty sure we read this. Something about it does bother me, I just don't know what. Okay. Stabbing, so you saw him stabbing the victim who was sitting next to him. So that's the part he's hesitant about, and I said, anyway, there was only two inside the carriage, wasn't there? So it sounds like he made an assumption. He didn't actually see it so much as he assumed. But, maybe there was another guy in the carriage. What would have prevented him from seeing it, though? If we didn't see the exact moment, what would have prevented him?
Hold it! Press this, I don't know.
Earlier, well, the blood was on the right hand, And, I mean, theoretically, there's 4 seats in the inner compartment, so somebody was sitting next to the dead guy, and it's entirely possible that it was the Gilded, but, if there was a 5th passenger, they may have been sitting across from him. What did McGilded say why he didn't know he fell asleep, right? That's what he said? I'm pretty sure he said that he fell asleep and that's why he wasn't aware of the dead thing. As in the victim, Chris Carl. Oh, yeah. No, I think, because we looked at the inside and stuff where, stuff as well, so, it matched up where they were sitting, it matched up with, who you would see. So there's definitely, well, I mean, if somebody was sitting next to him, you could reach over and stab with your right hand. And actually, I think it would be a little bit awkward even if you were left-handed to stab with left hand, maybe? Mostly because people want to go like this motion, not this motion. Yeah. Isn't the better one though? Aren't you supposed to stab like this instead of like this? Right? Isn't that more efficient or something? Right, yeah. So, I mean, he still could have, with his right hand, reached over, and if he's on the right side, he's still getting the blood where the blood showed up. And actually, if he was stabbed by somebody who was in front of him, the blood would have ended up on the pinky. Yes, there is. There's blood on the right glove in this area right here.
Are you gonna read?
Oh, but wait, hang on. No, that has the same problem. You have to go like this to get the... No, it's the right glove. That's why they wanted him to be a lefty, because if he was a lefty, the blood would be on the left glove. Yeah, it's on the right glove. Yeah, so... So you reach over... But if you went like this to somebody in front of you, that's where the blood would end up. If you were going to stab somebody in front of you and have blood on this side, it would be very awkward. You would go like a lower motion, right? What?
I'm waiting for you to read your line.
Earlier, you testified you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose. Might have, you know. Yes, put the cart
He
before
does have
the
the same
horse,
glove.
maybe.
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff.
How did he fall onto his back?
That's right, yes. And the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes.
So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. Also, then why did he end up still in his seat when the cops came to pick him up?
I really thought that I did, but But when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did
Oh,
I?
he's so angry.
Excuse me.
What the fuck is your problem,
Excuse me.
dude? You have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed?
Some days are like that.
I don't know what will make him listen. I guess say no chance. Challenge him.
Say what?
Say no chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping! I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a ball-rot day. I have no idea what that is. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you.
Thank you, Mr. Fairplay.
Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar, my lord.
I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw.
Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? There we go.
So we need to go to present gloves.
Objection.
Love it when the music stops. Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that smoke-soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it.
Dun dun dun.
Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilden, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there, but as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Also, it's a glove and not a hand. Ah! In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah! But, no, that can't be right. So you're a liar here, then? Ah! What is he chewing on that? That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection.
Well, that pummel.
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying.
Yes, I can.
Yes,
What he said.
it was both ends. It was only one. It wasn't both ends, it was only one. But the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
I love how when he points, it's still like his arm is covering his mouth. Like, that's great. No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Arrgh! Like, why I'm a city banker, for pity's sake, my word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie, but is that really the case?
Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, It could turn the tide in this trial completely.
Something to show this man had a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I mean, look at the court record.
Probably the statements. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum.
Oh.
I'm a banker.
Oh yeah, you're right. He is a banker. This portfolio must contain all kinds of secrets. Oh, McGilded has the banker in that book. That's why that. He has a compelling reason to lie because he doesn't want to be found out. Okay, yeah. I said that already.
You didn't finish it.
This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry.
Oh dear. Do you really think we ought to look inside?
Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder.
I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholm's name inside.
Oh, let's see what we find. We never did this, did we?
Him. I miss Sholmes.
Yeah. Gosh,
it's
I'm
crammed
sorry.
full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not old gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off.
Ah, goodness.
What is it?
Look at this. Do you see the name here?
Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Like maybe it's the guy that we're talking to right now.
Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment.
Oh yeah, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here?
Cinderblock.
He borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching.
It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information.
Among the defendant's list of debtors is Bruce Fairplay, who would have been due to repay his loan imminently.
And now he doesn't have to, because the guy holding his debt is dead. My lord,
Yes, counsel.
the defense is ready to present evidence.
By Jove, are you
I
sure?
love how his wig keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony.
Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded.
Yes, a list of innocent victims, crippled by the accused's extortion.
The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
What? Mr. Fairplay? Are you currently indebted financially to the accused?
No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. I don't know how much 20 guineas is, but according to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case?
These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, we're accredited the defendant here to be sentenced to a capital punishment. All outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Ooh. And he says, ooh.
Cease to exist. Motive!
Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw? in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant. What?
I'm waiting for you to read.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
He ganked him over 50 quid. Okay, 55 quid. Guineas are 110% a quid.
It had 20 guineas in 1900. I did that for, just for easiness. It has the same buying power approximately as, 3,202 current dollars and also 45 cents.
Order! Order! Order!
That's
Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
yeah. So he's over $3,000 in debt, which is not inconsiderable. Yeah. Yes. More.
Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer might have most serious implications upon your future, sir.
I'm assuming that he's like
He's just
anxiety.
like gnawing, yeah.
He's anxiety stimming on his cane apparently.
Did you, or did you not, say the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim?
Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony.
Objection.
All right, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch. But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on the Gilded's hands, both of them.
Objection.
And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying.
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens.
That's why witness testimony is unreliable. Seeing what?
The blood, sir, and the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one.
What? What?
So is somebody else.
This is an exact example of why it pisses me so off. It pisses me off so much that people put such stock in witness testimony. Witness testimony is shit!
You're basing it on this video game. You said this is why.
Yeah, scenarios like this, which do actually happen in real
Okay,
life.
That's fair.
It will appear that we are going to need further testimony from all your witnesses.
I mean,
This time, I would like to know precisely what you did see, what you did, and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last.
yes! Might finally have a chance to turn things around here.
Could be quite a turnabout.
Oh my god.
What? That wasn't even a pun.
I know, but just the way that you said it was just ridiculous.
What the witnesses really saw.
I mean, usually it's not this egregious in real life because, like, they would actually get, you know, charged with perjury, and then the prosecutor's, like, reputation would be shit. But witnesses do change their testimony between talking to the cops and going on trial and remember things and blah, blah, blah. So that's why I hate it. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. Because false memories are totally not a thing.
Do I just
Yeah, just keep going. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters.
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream.
Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. That's not true at all.
Well, lo and behold. In truth or fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated.
I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. No, it's not. That's really not what testimony is all about.
Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts.
It is an awkward place, though.
In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case.
Except for the part where nobody actually saw McGilder do it. Oh, and there might be!
Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord.
Cross-examination. What the witnesses really saw.
I just press until we figure it out. No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless. I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw. But why? Because humans hate admitting that they're wrong, and it's an entire thing.
Your reasoning is dire.
Eh.
On and or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers.
Nope, only from the webbing. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment of the stabbing, transpired.
If that matters.
That matters. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as you well know. But, crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was just trying to save us all some time. You have 120 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? That's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the Derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing. Yep, that's how gambling happens. A little guinea or 10. I'm a banker, no one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend.
I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. The witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness.
Is that really how it's supposed to work?
I remember
remember seeing a knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them.
Hold it!
Oh,
What?
no, maybe not. Never mind.
You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands?
The way he's just staring.
Oh, that's how he always stands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, when you look at him by himself. I thought he was glaring at it
No, he's
first.
just...
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGillicuddy's gloves has any sign of blood on it.
That's right.
The thing is far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGillicuddy sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir.
He wasn't wearing these gloves?
That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on his... on both his bare hands quite clearly.
Then how the fuck did I get on the gloves? It's true that the dark colored stain on the dark colored gloves wouldn't have been easy to see.
I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGill's glove hands.
There wasn't blood on his hands? So, I mean, how... So,
This is puzzling indeed.
it's definitely another person. This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it.
I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream.
Hold it!
You see anything?
Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab a man. Oh, you agree, sir?
I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Uh-oh. You have your space.
Hey.
Those are big files.
They're whenever I'm streaming now, it automatically records.
Right, yeah.
So
But those are big files, so.
okay.
I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it?
No, sir. I saw nothing at all.
Just remember, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have been trying to give me a London streets, no? FO. Oh, please, you didn't even see that.
It was so cold that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid, sorry to say, sir.
It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights.
Beppo!
Ah.
Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage.
Character we all the scene, sorry.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we already on that part.
We-
And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus. That's right, it was fiercely cold that night. But the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh, yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place.
I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh? Why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked. That's right, and it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play.
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring. Long and hard. That's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed.
Unequivocal, I would say.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? No. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You're riding this omnibus and witnessed events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What?
Boy golly! Really?
Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure, but the possibility cannot be denied. That at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well. I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated?
That way, yeah.
Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I have drawn here.
Oh,
That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite, the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting, is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Rawr!
Objection!
it's quite possible. Some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
I don't know who it is.
Can you, Mr. Naruhodo?
I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who do we know that it could have been? Who could have been on the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? I mean, there's no real indication. Is there? Who's that? Yeah, that's Lord Chief Justice. Yeah, I don't think it's anybody that we've known already. Or alternatively, it is somebody we know. It's
One of these two.
no, it's our our client. It's the defendant. He was in the opposite seat. He wasn't sitting next to the guy. He was in the cabin. He just wasn't wherever we thought he was. But I don't know. Maybe I have no idea. I don't know. We have enough thingies. We'll.
So what do you want me to say?
Say I have no idea. Ugh, I have literally no idea.
But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look into the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on.
This isn't just a case of going on in Mrs. Sure it is. Alright then, I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. He's also the only
You are a fool.
Yes, I am. I know. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Wait for 100 years. He's also the only one who keeps calling, Ryu and Susato Nipponese.
Okay.
No, it's just, it impresses me.
That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, Counsel. The defense is still denying the passenger in the other seat.
Why does he do that? This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus that was obscured from view was, McGilden.
But they say they saw him.
They didn't, but every time we look at any of the pictures, they could only see from the neck down. Nobody saw his face.
Take that!
Whatever.
Oh, do you hear the music playing anymore? The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witness on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilden.
Mr. McGilden?
What are you talking about, Counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Yeah, that's the point, dude.
Objection!
Oh, that's so great.
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my alu chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
I'm sure you have like 500 more of them.
Your vengeance. People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly.
Who are you calling tiny islands? Like, I'm pretty sure that Japan is like twice the size of Britain, you dipshit. What are you trying to say?
Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater
Oh,
such
so
as
now
yourself
you're
might
being
understand.
rude. See?
When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
Yeah, Japan is literally 1.6 times bigger than the entire United Kingdom. So if you leave out fucking Ireland and Scotland and shit, I'm so mad. But that premise may be wrong.
What?
If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilden, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
What inconsistency, Counsel?
The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
What if they were right? The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes, their testimony remains unchanged.
This is another reason why I don't like witness statements. Exactly, they both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. So you're just deciding whether they're lying based on what's good for the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Oh, you remember correctly now, but before you were remembering wrong. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them. There's no real reason to throw out one part of the testimony over the other. It's just arbitrary. And who... Sorry.
You gotta calm down.
I'm annoyed!
And who was this third party?
Obviously, the true culprit, who I'm not gonna name because I have no idea who he actually is.
Extraordinary! Order, order, order! What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said, the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I can see the rest of them, though.
Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
And what particular styles of art did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First?
I'm afraid I don't remember.
And you call yourself a hatter?
The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin.
How can you be sure?
Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the fact. Depose.
Deposed, yeah. He was asleep.
Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation.
That was a ghost.
Hey, Deceptus. What's up? What you up to? Hello there.
That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled.
Just not? Because that would be fantastic.
But it's fun. Ah! We're appreciating the prosecutor. He's right. Because the prosecutor is the only one who decides not to be racist on a regular basis. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus...
It's going good other than dealing with it.
Shut up! It's inconceivable that Mr. McGilder would have been unaware of it, unless he was asleep, like he said.
Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police.
I mean, that's entirely accurate. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely?
No, we love Ace Attorney games. Like, it's like one of our favorite things. And this is the newest one, I think, for the U.S.
Yeah, it's the most recently
release. Translated.
There you go. That was, yeah. Or localized.
Localized.
Yeah. Because they still won't localize the best one.
Edgeworth 2.
Yeah.
Investigations.
By so much. It is so the best game in the entire series by like so much. And it aggravates me as the one they just don't do. Ugh, the Ace Attorney games are the best ever.
Yeah, we love them.
Oh, they're so
Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out that the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a multi-deliberate act. Counsel for a defense, what is your opinion?
I mean, the defense is like the defendant is right in the room. He could just go up there and say, yeah, I didn't notice nothing because I was passed out, or I have become temporarily blinded for 45 minutes, or whatever, you know, like he could just go with it. My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilder to testify or not? I mean, demand his testimony anyway. Yeah, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. Oh, baby. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilder to the stand.
In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Oh, yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilder has to say. Get the man out here, I say! Sorry. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When somebody needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild.
I only just noticed his horseshoe thing matches his horseshoe beard.
Yeah, mustache is mustache.
Mustache, yeah.
Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say, oh yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, the jury says the man must be heard.
Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once.
Should we stop here? I'm tired.
You're always tired.
Not when I'm not tired. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear.
Let proceedings be resumed.
So just stop like right here?
I suppose. Well, I don't know if they're gonna give him like an actual testimony sequence or if
Yeah, I
he's
don't
just gonna
know.
talk.
So should we just stop here?
Yeah. Unless you want to keep going.
Oh, you said it.
Well, I'm tired, but you never want to keep going, so if you want to keep going, you can
Well,
keep going.
you've already ruined
Oh
it.
my god, whatever.
Okay. I didn't want that. Thought it was just gonna go to the title music.
Dumb.
Alright. So we will probably be back Sunday.
Sunday,
Subpoena
subpoena Sunday.
for more attorneys.
Yeah.
But until then, we're gonna stop for now. Thanks everybody for being here. Indy, Long, Deceptus, everyone. See y'all next time. Have a good one, guys.